Shalom, shalom, Israel. First, I would like to give all honor and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'ashema Mashiach Umarak Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God, and Yahushua is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. First, I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that go out and labor, present their bodies as a living sacrifice, doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, the freezing below codes, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. Shalom. I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Aqua, the sisters that are at home, but they're reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, submissive, on fire, tender, and delicate for the Most High. Last but not least, I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and children in this truth as well, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure in the last days. All right. And by the topic of this code cut is titled, right, Give Not Thy Strength unto Woman. Right. The topic of this code cut is Give Not Thy Strength unto Woman. All right. And this is a fundamental biblical topic, right, that brothers often go into, etc. But seeing that it's spirits in the last days, and a lot of brothers, they hit me up, they say, well, can you do a video on this? This was going on. And we have to be able to go through the scriptures, right? And go through every aspect and cover almost every topic if it be of the will of the Most High, man. Right? We just can't go into the Bible and we going into the so-called white man and the Moabites going into slavery. Right? That's not going to profit anything. But we do have to go into the different aspects of the scriptures and show the nation of Israel, our brothers and sisters, how to deal with particular situations. Right? Because what? Every it's literally every answer is in the scriptures, man. How to deal with this situation, how to deal with that situation. You can all find it in the Bible. People try to look up, dang, how do I get this woman out of my head? And they try to look it up on YouTube, get worldly men's advice. How do I stop focusing on this so much? Well, every answer is in the scriptures, man. All you have to do is seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail you. So again, the topic of this code cut is give not thy strength unto woman, man. Right? And like we said earlier, I mean, this is a vast topic. A lot of brothers deal with this through the spirit. A lot of people in general deal with this, man. People in the world, and they don't know how to grasp it. You have certain men, they 40 years old, they still don't know how to control themselves. All right. You have other men, they get seduced and wrapped up by the woman. Other men you have, they mind revolves around the woman. I gotta be with this woman. I gotta be with this woman. You have other men talking about, well, my ex-girl, she cheated on me. How do I get over this? Again, we have to go through the precepts and we have to get the proper understanding of the word, man, and show our people how to move in this thing. All right. So let me kick this off. All right, shalom, everybody tuning in to the live stream. Let's kick it off with the book. So let me share my screen. Let's kick it off with the book of Psalms, chapter 119. Right? Let's kick it off with the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and 104, the classic. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse number 104. Psalms 119 and 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding. Right? Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Right? Salakia. Therefore I hate every false way. So the only way you're going to get a good understanding of things in life in general, and you have to go through the precepts, man. You can't go on Maury, right? You can't go on Jerry Springer, try to figure out why you can't get this woman out of your head, right? Why you always being seduced. Oh, this woman, she stole $50 from me. Well, you got to go through the precepts, man, to get the understanding. Because wisdom, she's going to show you things, man. It's things outside of the law that you have to learn. It's ordinances. It's literally wisdom to be applied, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and 6. It's literally wisdom that has to be applied. Before we go to Proverbs 4 and 6, right, let's go to Matthew chapter 10. And a lot of these things take place, and a lot, you have what you call in the world simps, right? Men, they don't know how to deal with women in general, right? It's because of lack of going through the precepts, the lack of applying wisdom. You have certain men, they lusting after women, right? You have little jakes. They literally go to work just to get women, man. That's the only reason why they go to work. Dang, I want to see what girl is in here. Oh man, she's bad. I gotta talk to her, right? You have men. You got certain men called the ladies, man. They go out and see how much women they could get, right? Then by the end of the night, he didn't got deceived, man, and ultimately destroyed. So you have to apply wisdom, man. Again, the things we finna go over today, we decided to tell you it's not, a lot of this stuff is not documented in the Torah, man. It's not documented in Genesis to Deuteronomy. You got certain brothers saying, no, if it's not in the law, I'm not dealing with it. Well, all right, brother, your understanding gonna be all jacked up. Or you're not gonna know what to do in certain situations. If you have that mindset, oh, it's not in the law, I'm not trying to hear it. Well, with that man, he might be destroyed because everything is not gonna be in the law. That's why you have other books, right? That's literally why you have other books like First Samuel, right? First Chronicles, Second Chronicles. It's to give you those things that might not be in the law. But let's go to Matthew chapter 10. Right, it's Matthew chapter 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. And that's what the Lord told the apostles. And this could be fourfold, man. Because what? The Lord sending us as sheep. We're the sheep. We're docile. We're tender. In the midst of wolves could be, that could be false brethren. That could be pastors. That could be evil men. That also could be the midst of this world. Demons. The demons could be wolves, man. That's trying to eat you alive. A wolf want to devour a sheep, man. So we're the sheep being in the truth, the children of the light, in the midst of wolves, meaning in the midst of spirits, spiritual warfare, evil spirits. So Matthew 10 and 16, this could be applied threefold, man. Now, with the Lord, with that being said, this is what the Lord said. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So knowing that we in the midst of all, you literally in the midst of the wickedest kingdom of all time, known as America. So if you live in America, you in the most, wickedest place on earth, the most wickedest place, the mother of all abominations, right? The great harlot, Babylon the Great. The Lord said, be wise as serpents. Meaning what? Use wisdom, use subtlety, right? Because wisdom, she teaches you different things. She teaches you subtlety, how to move, discretion, right? How to speak, when not to speak, temperance, discipline. Wisdom, she has manyfold different attributes she shows you. But a lot of men, the reason why they're in the situation they're in is because due to their lack of applying wisdom. Again, you have certain men saying, hold on, that's not in Deuteronomy. You might as well not even say it. Then the brother ends up turning around, doing God knows what. Sitting down with harlots, man, in the club, buying them drinks. Well, it don't say we can't do this in the law. Well, we know that. We know it's not going to say it. That's why you're doing it. And that's why that brother's falling victim to sin by not applying wisdom, man. Right? It's a lot of wisdom in the book of Job that you could apply to your life. It's a lot of wisdom in the book of Sirach. Right? You have to apply these things, man. Now let's go to Proverbs chapter 4. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 6. Right? It says, I'm going to start at 5. Proverbs 4 and 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not. neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. So wisdom is going to preserve you. What is she going to preserve you? From the set perils, from the destruction, from the evils, and even certain situations that you might have not had to get yourself into. Who's going to preserve you? None other but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, through the spirit of wisdom, through the spirit of understanding. That's how you're going to be preserved, man. But if you had this understanding that you don't have to apply wisdom because it's not a commandment, it's not in the law, then brother, hey, you might not make it. All right, we just gonna say that you might not make it if you had that mindset. I'm saying you have to apply wisdom, man. I may say, well, hold on. I read Exodus. What do it say you have to apply wisdom? Well, brother, Moses applied wisdom, man. Right? When Jethro came to him and said, you know what, you should do it like this. This is how you should counsel the men. Give counsel. Moses could have said, no, I'm not dealing with that. Moses, he took that counsel, he took that wisdom, and he applied it. Right? So just because it's not in the law, that don't mean you don't have to apply it. You have to apply the book of Sirach. Absolutely. If you don't apply the book of Sirach, right? If you're not living by that, then brother, you might not be a wise man. All right? You might not be a wise man. So with no further ado, let's get straight into it. All right? Give not thy strength unto woman, man. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31 and 3. All right, this is the book of Proverbs chapter 31. I'm going to start at verse 1. Proverbs 31 and 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Right? Who is King Lemuel? Well, when you go into it, let's see if we can pull this up. Let's see if we could pull this up. King Lemuel, what the scholars say, that's another title for King Solomon. All right. That's another title for King Solomon. Pull it up. It says Lemuel means for God in the Hebrew, the name of an unknown king to whom his mother addressed the prudent maxims contained in some of the proverbs might be same as King Solomon. You go down, it says what? A symbolic name for Solomon, Lemuel. So this actually might be another name given to King Solomon by his mother. The point is, it says the prophecy that his mother taught him. So his mom taught him certain things, man. Other than the law, she taught him wisdom, right? Understanding. Not only that, but how to deal with women when you read down. Everybody's not taught how to deal with women, man. And you growing up in a society, you taught one thing about women. Hey, get as much women as you can. Have as much women as you can. Do these lewd acts with them, right? Cross them over, use them, etc. You taught all these things about the women. When you actually grow up, it's certain things you can and you can't do, man. You taught to lust after women. Oh, she's beautiful. She's shaped up. Hey, you got to get her number. Hey, that's what we taught, man. But guess what? King Solomon's mother, right, taught him certain things. And who is our mother in the spirit? That's wisdom, right? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Hey, she's our mom, man. If you got ears to hear, she's our mother on a spiritual level. She's going to teach us certain things that our physical mom didn't teach us, right? You think your mom told you, hey, you got to be aware of certain women, but not all women out here are sincere. You have evil women out here. You have wicked women out here. This is the do's and don'ts. Hey, your mom never probably told you that, man. But guess what? Hey, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Hey, she's going to teach you things, man. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. Let's get a quick precept on wisdom being your mother. A wisdom is a manyfold thing. She's your mom. She's your sister. She's your wife. Right? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and 12. This wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and 12. And I rejoice in them all, because wisdom goeth before them. And I knew that she was the mother of them. See that? So wisdom is the mother of man, right? And of woman. She's personified as your mom according to the Bible, right? Because she's gonna nurture you. She's gonna treat you like she has characteristics of a mom. She looks out for you. She watches over you. She protects you through the spirit, through the commandments, right? This Sirach chapter 15 and verse 1. He that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And as a mother shall she meet him, right? Talking about wisdom. She's going to meet you as a mom, right? And receive him as a wife married of a virgin. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. Meaning what? She going to feed, just like your mom say, come in, baby. You know I cook for you. You want some of this? You want some spaghetti, right? I got some hash browns for you. Hey, that's how your mom is going to give you and feed you on a physical level. How much more for wisdom? Meaning what? She's going to give you the understanding. She's going to give you the wisdom. She's not going to have you out here starving. Not only that, she's going to give you some nice water, a cold glass of water to finish it off, which will be that wisdom, right? So again, wisdom has attributes of a mom. Let's go to the book. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. All right. Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse number 2. Proverbs 31 and 2. So again, this is the prophecy that King Solomon's mom, she giving him game right now. Proverbs 31 and 2. My son? And what? The son of my womb. And what? The son of my vows. Right? Give not thy strength unto woman. Right? Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right? So the Most High, through the Spirit, he said, give not thy strength unto woman, man. Right? What does it mean by give not thy strength unto woman? A lot of men, they read over this. Right? Slakia. Right? A lot of men, they read over this. Say, what does it mean by don't give your strength? Does that mean don't work out with the woman? No, brother, that's talking about don't give your strength unto woman, man. You can't give her your mind, soul, and your body and your spirit, all your preeminence. That's what a lot of times men have a problem with, man. Right? It says, give not thy strength unto woman. Again, you have certain men, whatever they woman tell them to do, they do it. Hey, she tell you to take out the garbage, or you're not coming back in the house. And you say, okay, you damn take out the garbage, then you damn throw it out. A certain women make their man sleep on the couch, man. Right? And Jake just go ahead and do it. What does it mean when it says give not thy strength? Meaning what is your strength? Your power, man. A lot of men, you give your power to, instead of giving it to the Most High, instead of serving the Most High with all thy strength, guess what? You give it unto your woman, right? You give all your power. You give your whole mind to this woman. You telling her all your secrets. Next thing you know, when she go commit adultery on you, now you all sad. You crying, you depressed. Damn, eating ice cream in the shower. You watching movies on the couch. Are you damn playing? You playing some damn Juice World, man. Playing some damn Jodeci, some Boys to Men. Right? They got a song. I'm not sure who is it by. That's probably a little bit before my time. Because you got a song called Put That Woman First, right? Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, that's by Jaheim. See that? Let's see if we can pull up the lyrics. So America, they really want the Israelite man, right, to give his strength into the woman. We're not gonna read this whole. We're not gonna read this whole song, but I'm pretty sure our brothers heard this before. But it literally says when she start bringing up old dirt, and the fights keep getting worse, finding numbers. Hold on. It says finding numbers in her purse. Better put that woman first. See that? And you know she ain't wearing her ring when she starts playing little games, coming in late from work. You better put that woman first. See that? So you this world, hey, they want you to put the. Hold on. I thought the Mosai said, hey, I thought he said put the Mosai first. Where is that at in the Bible? It say put that woman first, right? See, that's not scriptural, and that's why a lot of men err. Again, not applying the precepts, man. Right? Nowhere in the Bible does it say put your woman first. Hey, that's idolatry, man. That's literally idolatry because you putting it before the Most High. You're supposed to put the Most High on a pedestal. You're supposed to exalt his name, magnify his name. But guess what? What do Jake do? Jake put his woman first. Next thing you know, he breaking the damn Sabbath day for his woman. Oh, hold on. I'm saying my wife said she want to go to them Applebee's. I know it's the Sabbath, but I got to do it just this one time. She just so beautiful. Next thing you know, the brother come home from Applebee's. He looked through a damn purse and he find a damn number in there. And it says the waitress from Applebee's. Well, brother, that's judgment. Because you ain't put the most out first. Now she finna call up a waitress from Applebee's. Right? You got Jake. He damn spending all his money for his woman. Going broke, giving all his time to her. Hey, these certain you have men in the world, they life revolve around a woman. Like I said earlier, dang, how much woman can I get, man? Go to the beach, how much numbers you could get? Who got the best looking woman amongst you and your guys? Hey, that is idolatry, man. That's literally idolatry. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Right? We're gonna go back to that. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Right? Exodus chapter 20 and verse. So okay, hold on. Exodus 15 and 1. It reads, it says, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now this word gods in the Hebrew means power or Elohim, or the powers in the Hebrew. So when it says thou shalt have no other gods, I mean that could be anything. You could set up a lion as your god. You could set up your job as a god. And you could even set up your woman as a god. And you praising the woman now. That's why you have certain men, they actually think that the black woman is God. That's the most high God. So I mean anything could be your God, but you want to have You don't want to put nothing else before the Most High. Because when you do that, now you're in idolatry. Now you worshiping, because God is jealous. He's a jealous God, right? Now you making the Most High angry, right? The Lord gets angry at idolatry. That's why when you jump down to verse 5, it says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." So you have certain men, they bow down to their woman. Literally. They woman come in, they say, hold on. They stop what they doing. They say, "Hi, how you doing, girl? I mean, how was your day today, babe?" And they bowing down to their woman, man. And they serving them, whatever they say they do. They tell you to break the commandments of the Lord, and you do it, man. You not reading because you texting this girl all day. Hold on, let me see if she replied back to my text. Right. And you not, and then 3 hours went by. Jake on the phone with his woman. Right. He said, yeah, he got his damn legs up in the air. And he on the floor, man. He upside down talking to his woman all night. He hasn't read, right? He hasn't prayed, studied. He giving all his strength unto the woman. Hey, that is idolatry, man. The Most High, he gets angry at that, man. You don't think, how you think the Lord feel? Because you're not putting him first. That woman didn't create you, man. That woman didn't wake you up this morning. She didn't load you with benefits every day. Hey, she didn't have mercy on you that time where you knew you should have been killed, but the Most High had mercy on you instead. She wasn't there. Hey, it was the Most High that was there this whole time. So guess what? You cannot have no other gods before the Lord. That includes your woman, man. So put that woman first by Jahim. The most High not dealing with this, man. Right? Hold on. Let me exit out of this. Right? The Most High is not dealing with this. It says this is an ode to the importance of a woman in a relationship and the fact that she is meant to be loved and treated with respect too. So, all right. Now we're not saying women don't reserve respect. We're not saying that. But when we saying when you put a woman over the Most High, now that's a problem. Women reserve respect, right? If they're righteous, if they're on fire, if they're keeping the commandments, right? But even if you have a wife in the truth, and you still can't put her over the Most High. The Lord comes first over anything and anybody, any day. All right. Now let's go back to Proverbs 31:3. So the Lord said, "Give not thy strength unto woman, man." Let's read on. Right. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse number 3. Give not thy strength unto woman, right? Nor thy ways, right? Hold on, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. What does it mean by nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings? Because what you're going to come to find out is a lot of women, they don't know that they have the power to destroy a king. Imagine that. A lot of women don't know that. Certain women do. That's why they take advantage. So you have wicked women out here. They know how to get to a man's pockets. They know how to destroy a man and take his mind captive in prison and get his mind wrapped up all around him. Certain women, they know that. But the average Eve, she don't know that, but she still do it anyway. Right? That's why I tell brothers, a woman are nothing to play with, man. Right? Women are nothing to play with, man. You can't just deal with them like that. That's why the Bible gives you a certain way how to deal with them. If it's for marriage, all right. Because guess what? A woman could destroy a king. And look at King Solomon, right? Who destroyed King Solomon? Was it the Philistines, right? Those giants of Anak? No, it was strange, outlandish women. And you have to apply Proverbs 31:3. Although it's not in the Torah, you still have to apply that. A lot of men, they be destroyed due to a woman, and a woman can get you destroyed. Let's go to Sirach chapter 25:13. Again, this is information the world is not going to tell you. You think you're going to learn this in school? No, you're not going to learn this in school, how to deal with women. Right? You're not going to learn this, man. It says, Sirach 25:13, give me any plague but the plague of the heart. Right? So Sirach said, hey, give me any plague, man. Give me cancer. Give me damn boils on my skin. Give me anything but the plague of the heart, meaning the plague of the mind. Because that's where, I mean, if your mind is not clear, if your mind is plagued and corrupt, you won't be able to do anything through the spirit. It says, and any wickedness. So Sirach said, hey, give me any wickedness. Right? But what? But the wickedness of a woman. See that? Give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Why? Because you have what you call wicked women out here. Women that have no respect. Women that's all out of order. A woman that's seductive, man. Right? Deceptive. Right? And ultimately, that's Satan, man. Right? That is the spiritual demon Satan. And maybe he's testing you because he knows that your weakness is a woman. That's a lot of brothers' weakness. It's typical. Men in the world, even men in the truth, have a hard time dealing with it. Right? But that's why the Bible gives you certain ordinances and ways how to handle certain situations, how to go about certain things, so you won't fall victim to a wickedness of a woman. Right? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse number 26. Right? Actually, I'm going to start at verse 25. Ecclesiastes 7 and 25. I apply my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even foolishness and madness. So King Solomon, yeah, he was wise, but he wanted to search out more things. He wanted to search out evil, folly, wickedness, madness, which could also, that can help as well, right? All the time, you might not. I mean, it's good to have the good, righteous wisdom, but sometimes you need to visually see evil. So when you see evil, now you beware of it. Now you know how to avoid it. That's why certain situations you really need to go through, man. Jake, sometimes you need your heart broken sometimes, man. Because other than that, you still not gonna get it. Certain times you need to be deceived by a woman. Certain times you need to go through these situations so you could be aware of it, so you could avoid it, so you could move through wisdom by experience, right? This read on verse 26. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman. King Solomon, he's the wisest man on earth. And he said, I find more bitter than death the woman. Right? And a PS, right? We're not talking about, obviously we're not talking about righteous woman. Right? If you keeping the commandments, you shame fast, you reverencing your husband, you doing all you can to magnify the name of the Most High, you keeping the commandments, you being that Proverbs 31 woman. All praise to the Most High. We're not talking about you. Right? Because we don't want no women to, hold on, they're bashing the women again. No, we talking about ungodly women, right? Evil women. Solomon said, you know what's worse than death? The woman, right? Whose heart is snares and nets. and her hands as bands. Meaning what? Her heart is full of mind games, right? Her mind literally revolves around mind games to try to get you caught up. You have certain women say, you don't really love me, right? If you love me, you will do this. And Jake say, you know what? Maybe, dang, she said I don't really love her, but I do love her. She said, no, you don't. Because if you do love us, you will go get this weed. Then Jake down get caught up in her mind games. Whether she's playing with you, brother, right? Or you might be feeling this woman, you talking to her, right? But you didn't gave her money, you didn't help her out. But every time you text, she always say I'm asleep, right? She just say she never texts you back. It's 10 hours later, oh, I was asleep. Well, brother, we here to tell you she's not asleep, brother. She's probably with another man. We just gonna be honest. She's not asleep. It's impossible for you to be asleep all the time. Hey, certain Jakes, they don't catch on to that. They say maybe she having a dream, a good dream. Okay. Maybe she just tired. I don't know. No, brother, she's not asleep. She's freaking off with another man. But Eve, she captured Jake in these mind games, and Jake's so simple, he just go with it. Right? You might really be feeling this woman, your heart, your energy. You done took this woman on dates, right? Now, guess what? You see her with another man. All right. So that's what it means by whose heart is snares and nets, meaning she's full of mind games. Right? This is the point. Whoso please of God, right, shall escape from her. The only way you're going to plead, only way you're going to escape from that wicked woman, you have to please the Most High. Because the Lord is going to say, hold on. No. I can't have my servant dealing with this woman. No, he's too blameless. I'm going to remove him from that situation. I'm going to set him by himself. I'm gonna give him a godly woman. Right? It says, whoso please of God shall escape from her. But the what? But the sinner shall be taken by her. Only a sinful man is going to be taken by the snares of a woman. And hey, that's not a life you want to live, man. When your life is surrounded about a woman, your mind is gone. You're lost, brother. A woman has your mind. Your mental health is going to be bad. I mean, all hell could break loose, man. That's not a healthy state to be in, right? So the only way you're gonna escape from her, you gotta please the Most High. You gotta be on fire. But guess what? The sinner shall be taken by her. A judgment is the Lord can give you a wicked woman for judgment, right? All because you still don't want to take heed to the commandments. You just think she's so beautiful. Okay, the Most High said you think she's so beautiful. You want her? Okay, have her. So she's so beautiful on the outside, but she's a demon on the inside. And she did damn seduced you. It says, behold, this have I found, said the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Right? So Solomon said, and out of 1,000 women, out of 1,000 men, I found one righteous. But out of 1,000 women, I found none righteous. Lo, this have I found, that God have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. And that's deep. And that 1,000 can mean a number of completion, right? It says, but a woman among all these have I not found. What do that tell you, brother? What that tells you that woman, that righteous woman, is hard to find, because the majority of these women, guess what? Satan already has them. But Jake don't care. He too caught up in her looks and the way she walks. Right? I believe they got a song like that. It's probably old. but it's a I love the way she walk or something like that, right? Or there she go, right? Jay get caught up in a woman's walk, right? Let's go to the book. What do I want? Let's go to First Timothy chapter 5, right? She's sitting down. You don't know this woman, don't know any information about her. You just captivated by her walk and her lipstick. You saying, "Dang, who is this?" Then you already, Satan already know he got you, right? Let's get to the point. This First Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully, right? Characteristics of a righteous woman. Verse 15. For some are already turned aside after Satan, right? For some are already turned aside after Satan. Hey, these women in the world, Satan already got them, brother. Still trying to bring that woman in from the truth. Or maybe she'll hearken. That's a good woman. You reminiscing about a woman in your damn high school, your first crush, your first love. Brother, reality is Satan already has her, right? She's going, her mind, she's going, brother, right? You got to let her go. A lot of these women Satan have, man. And when Satan has them, now Satan can use them to get to you because he knows that the woman is your weakness, right? All Satan got to do is this movie. When you watch that movie Belly 2, man, which is a good movie through the spirit, right? It was a big time drug dealer. All right, nobody could get to this man. I mean, nobody, right? I believe they had the game plan. Nobody could get to this man, right? Not even women could get to this man, right? You couldn't send no undercover agent in. So what they did was the police, right? Hold on. All right, Salakia, right? Um, but anyways, yeah, on this movie Belly 2, nobody could get to this drug dealer. I mean, nobody. So, and he was already cautious of a woman. He already know, nah, not all women are sincere. They might try to take me down. So what the undercover cops did, they sent in the right undercover woman. They sent him to her, and she met him at the bar. Again, this is a big time drug dealer. So he already pretty much know the game. So they sent the woman to him, and she was trying to say, "Well, hey, how you doing? You look good." And he wasn't going for nothing. He was like, "You know what? I'm okay. I'm not dealing with that." He had a little bit of discipline, but she kept coming up. She kept coming up. She kept coming up till eventually he had a drink with her at the bar. Next, you know, he started giving in to her. Then they got into a relationship, and the woman that was supposed to be undercover, she ended up falling in love with this guy. Then that when it was all said and done, she had to go through with the plan. It was a little bit too late. He found out that she was an undercover cop. And ultimately, now he survived, but a lot of the times, hey, you'll get caught out there, man. You will get arrested. And you in jail for life, all due to the woman. All right. So a lot of these women, again, the spiritual demon Satan, he already has them. Now let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 9. Let's go to the book of Sirach chapter 9 and verse number 2. Sirach 9 and 2. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. Right? So you can't give your soul into a woman, man. You have men, they sell their souls just for the woman. And she setting her foot upon your substance. She telling you what to do. She calling the shots. Hey, that's off, man. Right? That's off. Read on. Verse 3. Meet not within the harlot. Right? Lest thou fall into her snares. What does it mean, meet not with a harlot? Right? You have certain men, they know this woman is not in the truth. They know she has no understanding. They know she's easy to obtain and lay down with. So they damn meeting up with harlots. You have certain brothers, they do that. Hosea did it, right? The prophet Hosea, he was with a harlot. Brother, that's not what that's, brother, that was for a sign. So Hosea can know how the Most High feel through the Spirit. What are you talking about? But they don't care through their lust. They say, guess what? Hey man, she look good. I'm gonna go get with this harlot. It's easy. Due to their lust. But the Lord said, don't meet with a harlot. Or what? You could fall into her snares. Next you know, you laying down with this woman. Whole time, her snare is to have you get her pregnant so she could put you on child support. But you're not insider, man. You're blind. You don't count those costs. You do it off your lust. Next you know, you end up having a baby with this woman, and you on child support. And they milking $400 out your check a month. They taking $100 from you every week. Or she might have the disease. She might be wanting to get that disease to somebody. So she give it to you, and you fall into her snares, her traps. Right? If you in this truth, you cannot be meeting with harlots, man. That is off. That's going off. That's not applying wisdom. That's sinning against the Most High, man. Right? Verse 4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Right? Because you have certain women, they're talented, man. Certain women, they have the ability to seduce a man and lure in a man through their singing, their good looks, right? Their cooking. So you want to be getting sing to that. Oh man, she sings so beautiful. I gotta be with her, right? Whole time, all she doing is she luring you in with her attempts, and she got you right where she wants you to be at, right? Listen, you got certain men, they in love with Side A, man. Right? Anita Baker. What's that woman name? Dang, I forgot her name. But you got certain men, they in love with these women for their singing ability. Eve deceived them. Or you have women like Cash Page, SZA, right? They say, man, how is she able to do that? Again, this all goes back to idolatry. Setting up the woman over the Most High. Right? Verse 5. Gaze not upon a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. So the Lord said, gaze not upon a maid, man. And this could be a woman of marriageable age, a young woman, a virgin. You have certain men, they see a woman, she's probably a virgin, she don't really talk to a man, they just gazing upon her. They looking at her. She look up, then they look away. Then they back looking at her. Right? Then eventually, now they're given over to their lust. Hey, again, this is how a lot of things happen, man. All by not applying the precepts. God forbid, a brother does this, but you might have thoughts of them forcing that woman to lie down with you. Again, this happens in the world all the time. Men, they looking at a woman. Now they want to lay down with her, but she don't want to. So they force her anyway. All by gazing upon a maid. The Lord said, gaze not upon a maid. that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her, that might be by her good qualities. Again, she might be a virgin. Give not thy soul into harlots, that thou lose not thy inheritance. So you could use your inheritance. Now, in the ancient world, a man actually had an inheritance, which would be your land, right, your cattle, etc. But your inheritance could, and ultimately your inheritance is this truth, man. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Most High gave you. You could lose all of that. Wisdom, she could leave you. The precepts, they gonna leave you. Your understanding, all by dealing with a harlot, right? You just dealing with harlots, brother. She slept with 50 men, and you still want to deal with her. Verse 7. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in a solitary place. Right? Because you have certain men, they ask for trouble. Oh, snap. I know it's women over there. Let me go over there. I'm not gonna say nothing to them, but I'm gonna just go over there, see how they doing. You have something called the red light district, right? I believe that's over there in that's over there in Europe. They have it. Australia, maybe. You could literally just go out and you could look for a prostitute, man. You could just look for a woman, right? And you get in jail and she asks you, hey, how you doing? What do you want today? And you in the truth, you have your fringes on. Then you tuck in your fringes. You say, well, I'm just trying to have a good time. Whether that's off, man. Right? Neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. Right? You just roaming around the cities. You roaming around, you looking to see if she out there again. If she not out there. Us as men, we have to apply the precepts. We have to get out of this westernized mindset. Because people in the world, they think this is okay, man. They think this is right. The Lord is not with this, man. Verse 8. This is one of the heavy points. Turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. Right? So the Lord said, guess what? Turn thy eye away from a beautiful woman. Now, we know the Most High created our women. We have the best women on the planet. We know that. And you have some certain women they fear to look upon through the Spirit. Right? The Most High has created them with favor and with beautiness. But guess what? If you see a beautiful, you don't have to look at every woman's beauty. Right? Hey, brother, sometimes you gotta just put your head down. You see a beautiful woman, just put your head down. Think about the precepts. Okay, Sirach 9 and 8. Nah, I don't want to look at her. I know how I get, right? Hey, there's nothing wrong with doing that, man. Beautiful woman. All right, no. We're not dealing with that. You're thinking about the precepts. Yeah, certain men, they look at a woman, they look how she walking, they say, man, dang, she look good. That's all Jake do at the workplace, man. They see her. Hey, man, I remember yesterday, it was this one sister, right? I believe she from the tribe of Zebulon, where she not in the truth. But she was walking, and I was working with Jake, and Jake stopped what he doing, and he looked at her, right? He literally almost broke his neck. He said, hold on. Oh, he's like, oh, man. And then he was like, hey, how you doing? Right? That's off, man. You almost break your neck trying to look at this woman. And the Most High said, turn thy eye away from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty. Why you think the Most High just saying this for no reason? Why is the Lord saying this, man? Why is this in the Bible? What is it going to tell you? This the answer. It says what? For many have been deceived by the It says, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, right? For with his love is kindled as a fire. The reason why the Most High is telling you that is because many men have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. Many men have been seduced, man. Right? Hey, it's a man. It's a whole much. It's a whole many precepts. I'm just thinking about. Right? Men be deceived by women, by the beauty of women. It happens every day in the world, literally every single day. Right? And you being in this truth, you have to know this, man. Because again, we're not taught this, right? We have to learn this through the Spirit, through the knowledge of the Most High, right? Verse 9, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms. Right? You have certain men, they do that. They sit down with other man's wife. Oh, she look good, man. Oh, that's just my friend. That's my sister. And you have brothers in the truth committing adultery with other men's wives, man. Talking about that's my sister. That's my aquath. Well, no, brother, that's another man's wife. It says, and spend not thy money with her at the wine. Right? You say, hey, give her another shot. It's all on my tab. That's on me. Right? Next thing you know, it says, lest thy heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou shalt fall into destruction. Next thing you know, you thought that was your aquath, but you really start falling in love with this woman that belongs to another man. And through thy desire, the Most High destroys you. Because you commit adultery, man. So again, it's ordinances. Many men have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. So just because a woman is beautiful, brother, where's your discipline at? Where's your temperance? Where's your self-control? So what if she's beautiful, man? Right? Who cares? You know how many beautiful women it is on the planet? That don't mean damn lust after her and now she perverting your judgment. Right? This is Iraq chapter 25 and verse number 21. Right? So Iraq 25:21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. So the Lord said, hey, don't stumble at the beauty of a woman. So what if she's beautiful? Right? Hey, keep it moving. Think about the precepts. Think about me. And desire her not for pleasure. Certain men, they only get with women just to have fun. Just to have pleasure. Just to say they have a good looking woman. Right? But all hell is breaking loose at their household, man. The woman kicking them out. Them throwing their stuff out the house, setting it on fire. This stuff happened, man. Pouring gasoline on it. The Lord said, don't stumble at the beauty of a woman. So what, man? Keep it moving. Right? It is what it is. So, hey, you might say all praise to the Most High. Right? Let's go to Proverbs. Actually, before we go to that, let's go to Proverbs chapter 6. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6 and verse number 25. Right? Proverbs chapter 6 and 25. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Right? So this in context is talking about the evil woman and the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the commandments. The commandments is going to keep you from this. Right? The law is going to keep you from this. From the what? From the evil woman. The Lord said, lust not after beauty in thy heart. Right? Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Because again, it don't take for a lot of Drakes, man. It don't take Eve for much. All Eve got to do is just put on some she don't even have to wash up. She could just put on some nice makeup. Right? She probably hasn't washed up in days. Right? She put on her lipstick with her eyelashes, and she damn walking down the aisle and she switching. A lot of Jake, they damn necks break off their head. You don't even know this woman. This woman has not washed up in days. And Eve, she take you with her eyelids, with her seductive face, man, with her smile. Then you go home, you're like, dang, what if I could really be with this woman? She's just so beautiful. Brother, Brother, where's your where's your discipline at, brother? Why are you so simple? Right? This happens all the time, man. You know how many Jakes, and not even in this generation, in all time in history, you know how many men have been deceived by a woman, been taken by her eyelids, have lusted after her beauty? Verse 26, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. And it's a good script. Let me look this up, right? It says, by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, right? Meaning brought to nothing, right? Let me see if I can look this up. It's a I want to put this up in a different translation. It's a mean definition, a mean verse in a different translation. All right, here you go, right here. It says, for the price of a prostitute is only a loaf of bread, but a married woman hunts down a precious life. Hey, that's deep, man. You literally have women out here that hunt down, they married, they know they married, but they hunt down another man's life, man. They hunt you down because they know you easy. Again, that's Satan. They know you're gonna give into it. She could have a ring on her finger and all. Now you can say, well, hold on, nah, you married. I don't want no. Nah, you married, you belong to him. A lot of men, you don't care. You say, dang, I know she married, but man, she looks so good. Then you end up committing adultery, and then now the Lord got to kill you, man. And the Most High destroys you, or you miss out on the kingdom of heaven. So you actually have women out here, they know they married, but they still prey on you because they know you're weak. Again, that's Satan, man. Let's go to let me pull this up. I want to actually go back to that. But let me get this quick precept in the book. I believe that's 2 Corinthians. It's the book of 2 Corinthians. Right? Let's see. That might be 2 Corinthians 1. Right? Let me see if I can pull this up. It's a precept of. All right, 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. That's what I wanted. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 14. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So 9 times out of 10, that beautiful woman, brother, that's really Satan. But he transformed himself into that beautiful woman. You got ears to hear. Yeah, that might be a physical, literal woman on the earth, but the spirit of Satan is controlling her. And Satan, he's using her to get to you. But what if you don't have any discipline? What if you're not thinking about the precepts? What if you're not thinking about Sirach 9 and 8, Sirach 25:21, Proverbs 6:25? What if you're not thinking about these precepts? Satan is going to have a field day with you. All hell is going to break loose. Right? He going to get one up on you, man. He's going to bring you to nothing. He's going to cause you to sin against the Most High. Right? So in Proverbs 6 and verse, and that's scary, man. That is scary. Right? Proverbs 6:26, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burnt? Can one go upon hot coals, and his feet be not burned? So is he that goeth with his neighbor's wife, goeth into his neighbor's wife. Whoso toucheth her shall not be innocent. I mean, if you do this, if you don't apply the precepts, if you don't apply the commandments, if you choose to lust after her beauty in your heart, guess what, brother? You're not gonna be innocent, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7. It's Proverbs, and then again, this happens all the time. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7, and let's go to the book of 6. Now, Proverbs, the 7th chapter, that's a twofold chapter. This could be literal, but through the spirit, it's dealing with America. If you have ears to hear, it's dealing with Babylon the Great, that mother of all harlots, right? But again, Proverbs, the 7th chapter, is twofold. We not reading this in the spirit right now. We reading this as it is written, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7 and 6. For at the window of my house, I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones. I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding. Right? So it's a man, he don't know what's going on. Just out there. Right? Passing through the street near her corner, and he went to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, subtle and of heart. Right? So a woman came up dressed like a harlot, and she was subtile. A lot of these women, they subtile, man, of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in way of every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day I have paid my vows. So she damn grabbed him up, and she damn kissed him, man. And man, God forbid that's not happening. We just have a woman just come up to us and damn take us and damn kiss us. A lot of Jakes, you would just let it happen. And we gonna be like, hey, hold on, who are you? What the hell? What's going on? Right? The Most High not dealing with that. And we might have to kind of, and then we gonna get up out of there, like Joseph did. Right? It says, therefore I came to meet thee diligently to seek thy face. I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry and carved works with fine linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, oil, aloes, and cinnamon. Right? Hey man, this might literally happen. Again, this through the spirit. We know this through the spirit, but this might literally happen. And I remember this one Jake I was with. This was a long time ago, but we was talking about this one woman. And he's like, yeah, man, she's like, yeah, she smelled good. She smelled like strawberries. And he was just talking about how she smelled like strawberries for 2 hours. And I'm looking, I'm like, bro, are you still talking about her, how she smelled like strawberries? Then we just start laughing. Right? So you have certain men, they get, oh, man, she smelled like mangoes. Right? And that's, you damn getting your judgment all perverted, man. Right? So she said, I perfume my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Hey, a woman might put on frankincense and myrrh and take you, man. It says, come. This is what she said. She said, come and let us feel our love into the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loaves. For the good man is not at home. He is going a long journey. Hey, she might tell you, hey, my man not at home. He's in Mexico. He's out of town. A lot of you Jakes, you down fly out. You from Florida, but you fly out all the way to down Nebraska. You really think her man not home. Right? This is what you call adultery. It says he have taken a bag of money with him, and come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him, man. A woman could do that by her fair speech, right? He yielded, but by the flattering of her lips, she forced him, man. She throw herself onto you, right? It's been accounts, right? Brothers have been at work, and Eve, she done bend over in front of you. She know what she doing, right? She down just bend over in front of you. A lot of brothers, you give into that. Hey, first thing you should do, hey, you should turn away. You should hold on. No, that's Satan. Hey, I already know what that. I'm not ignorant. I'm not stupid. I'm not ignorant of his devices. That you think about the precepts, right? So with much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. He goeth after her straight way, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of stocks, till a dart strike through his liver. As a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that this is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy heart decline to her ways, and go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. And this happens when you follow a wicked woman. This all happens when you give your strength to a wicked woman, man. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Just, man, you got to be circumspect of these things. These things happen every single day. It might be happening next door. You don't even know. All right, this is Sirach chapter 41. And let's go to verse 12. Actually, Slakia, Sirach chapter 42 and 12. It's the book of Sirach chapter 42 and verse number 12. It reads, behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. Right? Hey, so just because somebody's beautiful, hey, that don't mean anything, man. You don't want to behold everybody's beauty. Right? Hey, this for the women as well. Just because you see a handsome guy, that don't mean you have to get taken captive by his looks. So what, man? The Lord said, don't behold everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women, right? And sit not in the midst of women, right? You have something called a ladies' man, right? You have Jakes. They go to the woman. Where the most women at? They go on. They sit in a room and it's filled with women. It's 18 women around, and he trying to spit game to them all 18. Hey, you know his mind jammed up. He not thinking about the precepts. He not thinking about the commandments. He not thinking about how he should pray to the Most High. He not thinking about how to go on a fast, how to get the kingdom of heaven. He thinking about women. And he ultimately, if he doesn't repent, he's going to be destroyed right with those women. Right? So again, the Most High, the Bible gives you ordinances, man. It gives you ordinances. Wisdom, she teaches you certain things so you won't stumble. Let's go to Sirach 19. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 2. Right, Sirach chapter 19 and verse 2. It says, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Hey, that's deep. You want to know how to make a man of understanding fall? It might be a brother, he's mighty in the truth. He going out there teaching, he giving alms, he praying to the Most High. He casted down demons. He casted down strongholds. He just on fire for the Lord. And you want to know how to make that man up to fall away? Hey, all you got to do is just, give him some little bit of wine and give him a woman, a beautiful woman. That's gonna provoke his judgment. It's gonna distract him, right? That's a distraction, man. Give him some damn tequila, Or hey, you could probably just give him an old fashioned, right? Give him a damn old fashioned and send a woman his way. And that man of understanding, he could fall. It says, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent, right? So a man of understanding can fall all by a woman. We seen it happen. You probably seen it in real life. Not only that, it's biblical accounts that you could go to say, "You dang, Sirach, he was right, man. And he was right. That's wild. Okay, damn, did this happen?" Then you linking it up with the precepts, because again, these things happen every day, man. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, and verse number 1. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings do go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah, but David tarried still at Jerusalem. Right, so hey, it's time for the kings to go battle and war. Everybody's going, but David, hey, he decided to stay back. This King David, he said, you know what, I'm gonna tarry back at Jerusalem. Verse 2. And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house, and from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. Now, this might be a real life situation, man. This might literally happen in real life. Hey, David was in that situation. Now, David could either do two things. He could say, well, you didn't have Sirach around this time. But David, I mean, he could have used Proverbs, right? I'm not sure if that was, I'm pretty sure he probably had copies to that, right? I'm not really sure. David around this time, well, he didn't have Proverbs because Solomon wasn't born during this time. But nevertheless, David, I'm saying, he could have just prayed to the Most High. He could have avoided that. He could have had discipline. Again, this is another man's wife. So it says, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. So he could have stopped looking at her, turned away, or he could have inquired of her. Let's see what David did. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Elam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? Right? He inquired after one's woman. He said, you know what? Bring that woman to me. Not only that, and one said, is this not Bathsheba? Now, through the Spirit, ultimately, yes, this might have been his servant. He might have said this, but ultimately, this the Most High talking to him through his servant, right? And that might be you. You might be with your brothers. You say a woman, and you lusting after her, saying she's beautiful, and your brother might say, "Hold on, you don't know if that woman married or not." Hey, that's the Lord speaking to you. But you through your lust, you're blinded through your lust. You say, you know what? I'm not trying to hear that right now. Or it might be Jake in the world. No, that's so and so girl, bro. You don't want to do that. Then you do it anyway. Hey, that's the Lord speaking to you, man. So, and he asked him, because this is a rhetorical question. He said, hold on, is this not Uriah, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, but she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned to her house. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. So not only did David commit adultery, but he had a baby with this woman, right? And sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did and how the people did and how the war prospered. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house, and with all the servants of his Lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down to his house, David said unto Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey, when thou didst not go down unto thy house? Right? And Uriah said unto David, The ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink, and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. And David said to Uriah, Tarry here also today, and tomorrow I will depart. So Uriah abode in the tent that day and tomorrow. Right? Verse 13. And when David had called him, he did eat and drunk before him, and he made him drunk. And at the evening he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down. Right? I'm gonna read on down, but I'm just read on verse 14. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, Set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that ye may be smitten and die. And it came to pass, when Joab observed the city, that he is around Uriah into a place where he knew that were valiant men. And the men of that city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants, and Uriah the Hittite died also. So not only did David sleep with Bathsheba, this man's wife, he also got this man killed in war. All because of what? Because the beauty of a woman. That's what a woman could cause you to do, man. Right? Literally, this is what she could cause you to do. To sin against the Most High. To go off. Right? To pervert judgment. Right? Again, the Most High is not saying this for no reason. He's saying to preserve you. But again, man in his lust overrides what the Most High says. So now man has to learn the hard way. Whether that you might get your heart broken. You have certain jakes, they get their heart broken, man. And then they crying. It's 2 weeks, you still crying, brother. You listening to music, right? You damn crying, you looking at a damn picture of her. Can't stop thinking about her. Well, that's your judgment, brother. You don't even go to work, man. You stop eating, right? You just go into this depression mode. Well, that's judgment for not doing what the Lord told you to do, man. Certain men they kill themselves, man. Let me see if I could pull this up. I believe something in the world. You have something called let me see if I could pull this up. Broken heart syndrome. This is real. This is real. I forgot the scientific cause of it. What's the scientific word for this? Let me see. Broken heart syndrome, right? It says broken heart syndrome is a temporary heart condition that often brought by stressful situations. Broken heart syndrome is a temporary heart condition that's often brought on by stressful situations and extreme emotions, right? The condition can also be triggered by a serious physical illness or surgery. People with broken heart syndrome may have certain chest pain or think they having a heart attack, right? Again, we're not going to go too in depth, right? I forgot the scientific name for it, but it says, therefore, a broken heart feels so difficult and so painful to deal with. The person often withdraws in their shell and is put into depression. A person with a broken heart often has episodes of sobbing, rage, despair. They may not eat or sleep for days and may also neglect their personal hygiene. See that? And you could die from this, man. So yes, in fact, you can die of a broken heart, but it is also extremely unlikely. It is called broken heart syndrome, and it can happen when an extremely emotional or traumatic event triggers a surge or stress hormones. These hormones can put you in a short-term heart failure, which could be life-threatening. You actually have something called broken heart syndrome, man. You could die of this. Right? I believe it was a brother, it was a rapper. His wife, his woman committed adultery, and he killed himself. He was so sad he killed himself, man. Right? All of this could happen, right, by not applying the precepts. This First Kings chapter 11 and 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of the Pharaoh, woman of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites, of nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they would turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto thee is in love. And that's twofold. Not only could a regular woman, a woman that's not of the Most High, hey, even your wife in the truth, man, hey, she could even turn your heart away from serving the Most High because you was just so in love with her, right? Hey, but a woman of the other nations, ultimately, they turn your heart away from serving the Most High. That's why the Lord said you can't deal with them, right? And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wife turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as with the heart of David his father. See that? And when you read down, Solomon, he start down making temples for other gods, man, and getting into all idolatry, right? For not moving in wisdom. So guess what? David committed adultery. Solomon, right? He literally seduced and bewitched by the woman and her beauty and how he loved them. To the point where he had 1,000 wives. And when you go into the law in Deuteronomy 17, I believe that's 12, a king is not even supposed to multiply that many wives into himself. So again, women could have you break the commandments. And you have to learn, and then you're going to have to learn the hard way. Right? Now, this is what David should have did, right? And he had this account. David had this account. This is in the book of Genesis. This is in the law. This is what David should have applied. This Genesis 39 and 7. I'm going to start at verse 6. And he lied, and he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. And he knew not all he had, save the bread which he did. And Joseph was a goodly person, well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, lie with me. Right? Hey, so this woman trying to have Joseph commit adultery. This is what Joseph did. He didn't say, you know what? Hey, is your man back at home? You sure? Let's go. No, it said, but he refused. He said, we're not dealing with that. And said unto his master wife, behold, thy master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he have committed all that he have to my hand. There is none greater thing in his house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? He said this is great wickedness. And a lot of times, again, brothers have to be mindful because although a woman is in the world, she still might be married. Because they don't know that sex is marriage. These people in the world don't know that. But you in the truth, you do know that. So a lot of these times, right, a lot of these women, they already married. Now, if they come into the truth, they repent, they say, I don't know that. That's different. But a lot of these times, these women are married. They belong to another man. You want to have that mindset of a priest, man. Right? Having certain ordinances, which we're going to go over. Right? Nevertheless, Joseph said, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie with her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to his business, and there was none of the men of the house therewith. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. So Joseph didn't, a lot of brothers, you would just sit there. You want to go, but the damn Satan got you right there, so you're not moving nowhere. Joseph, he ran, man. He got up out of there. Sometimes, you just gotta run. You just gotta go, bro. You gotta go to the bathroom, throw some prayers. You might be at your workplace. You might have to just duck off somewhere, get into the precepts. That's what you gotta do, man. You just gotta get up out of there sometimes, right? That's what Joseph did through the Spirit. Right now, let's go to the book of First Esdras, chapter 4. First Esdras, chapter 4. So again, man, a woman, Paul said in 1 Corinthians 7:1, right? It is better that a man touch not a woman, right? Now, that's not a commandment. We're not saying that's a commandment, but as wisdom, right? And me speaking as a man, except for if it's for marriage and the truth, it's in righteousness, right? Y'all serving the Most High together as a family, y'all reproducing, having children in the truth. If it's not for those reasons, it's better that a man touch not a woman, right? And just give all honor and glory to the Most High, right? Now, all men can't do that, which is cool. If you got to get a woman, all praise to the Most High. Make sure she's in the truth. Make sure she's righteous, right? Make sure she knows about the commandments. She know about her heritage, all right? But this First Esdras chapter 4, and man, it's a lot of precepts. This First Esdras chapter 4, and verse number 20. A man leaveth his own father and mother, and his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth it to his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father, nor mother, nor country. Right? That's how in love he is with his woman. That he forget everything. He just want to be with her. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword, and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea of the rivers. Right? And looketh upon a lion, and goeth into darkness. And when ye have stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. And that's what men, and that's what that's saying is, a man would do anything if a woman has caught his mind. I mean, anything, a man would do it. Why? Because he's blinded by his lust, and he's blinded by her beauty. He's basically, he's in a trance. It's like he has mind control on him. And that's why men do anything. You know how many men got robbed for the woman? Oh yeah, babe, go rob that man. And Jake go rob another Jake. You know how many men stolen for their girl? Spoiled. And these are men that jumped off a bridge for their woman, man. Verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out their wits for women, and become servants for their sake. See that? Many men, they become servants for the woman's sake. Whatever they woman say, do. Okay. And a woman can say, damn, I know this one brother I was working with, it was payday, he got his check. And he told me when he came home, his woman said, come here. She said, where's that check at? Then she snatched it out of his hand. she went to the damn check cashers and cashed his check for him and said, "This is what you owe me. This mine." Right? And he said he just had to deal with it. Hey, we're not dealing with that, man. That is, man, that's wild. Right? Many men become servants for their sakes. Right? I believe I had pulled up a clip earlier. I was trying to find it. With that movie Norman, man. Right, we hear to say it, but if you watch that movie Norman, hey, he was a servant for his woman's sake, man. We're gonna pull up this quick clip. Right?
Oh, got it for you right here. I'd hate to be you right now. Hi. Going in the house. Going in. Go ahead, fool. What you waiting for?
See that? And Norman, he don't know what's going on. He don't know. He just don't know.
Chocolate drop at home. Lollipop. Expecting a letter, Norbert? Oh, you frightened me. No, I was just looking through. How was your date? Date? Oh, that was no date. I just was over at what's your name's wedding rehearsal. That's all. It was a date, though. Oh, really?
See that? You got Jake getting thrown out the damn window by his woman, man. Right? She down sitting home. She coming home. Well, you come home, rather. Oh, it's all dark. The lights all off. Right? You just got your check, man. You come in. Your woman sitting on the side. She in the dark, though. Damn, you damn doing what you doing. Then the lights come on. She said, she said, it's payday. Where's that check at? He saying, check? What check? You trying to play stupid. Then she damn pick you up and throw you out the window, man. So a Norman, to the end of the movie, Norman, he was a simp. That's what you call a simp, man. Right? It's what you call a simp. Let's see if we can put this up. Simp definition. Might have to go to the other. It says a silly or foolish person. Let me see. It says someone who does way too much for a person they like. All right. Someone who does way too much for a person they don't like. We're not going. It says a word that everyone overuses without the correct definition. It means a guy that is overly desperate for a woman, especially if she's a bad person or has expressed herself disinterest in him, which she continues to obsess over. They're just usually just versions that will see that. We can't even go into the damn definitions, man. But the point is, a simp is basically somebody that is basically what it say right here in 1 Esdras chapter 4. A man that has become a servant for a woman's sake, that's a simp. All right, a man that go out their wits for the woman. That's a simp, man. And that's something that it's a lot of men in this world in general, they do. But us being the Israelites, we can't be doing it. All right. It says, many has also perished, have erred, and sinned for women. Many men, they died. You know how many men died over the woman? Literally, you know how many men die on a regular over a woman, over a female? Jake gets shot over a woman all day. Have erred, and many men most definitely have sinned for the woman. And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? And do not all regions fear him? Yet did I see him and Atmine, the king's concubine, the daughter of admirable Bartacus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head. Hey, this could be twofold, man. Right? Hey, the Lord said, let no man take thy crown in the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter. So certain men, you let a woman take your crown, meaning she take your salvation because you wrapped up around with her. You can't even, you're not even focusing on the kingdom. And set it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. See that? Damn, hit up upside the head. Right? You got men getting beat on by their women's. All hell could break loose if you don't apply the precepts, man. All hell could break loose, right? Let's go to the man. So many precepts. Let's go to the book of Judith, man. Let's go to this. Let's go to the book of Judith. We going all according to the Spirit, right? Let's go to the book of Judith. It's Judith at Judith, chapter 12. Let's go to Judith chapter 12. Right, it's Judith chapter 12 and verse. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Judith 12 and 16. Now, Judith was a righteous woman. She wasn't wicked, she was righteous, but she knew her power as a woman and what she could do. So she used her beauty and her wisdom to her advantage to deceive the captain Holofernes, right, Nebuchadnezzar's army, so the Israelites could be saved. So Judith, in this instant, she didn't use her beauty for wickedness. She used it for righteousness to save the Israelites, right, out of the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, because it was the decree that if anybody don't want to serve Nebuchadnezzar and his army, you're gonna get put to flight. Now, when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes, his heart was ravished with her, and his mind was moved, and desired her company, for he had waited a time to deceive her from the day that he had seen her. So this man, he didn't want to be with Judith just because she was, oh man, this could be a wife. Well, for one, he was most likely a heathen. For two, I'm saying he didn't want to be with Judith for a right reason. He just wanted to lay down with her because she was good. So she looked good, right? That's a lot of you men. You just want to lay with these women just because they look good, because they shaped up, they have a nice body, right? That is lust, and that will get you killed. You have to repent from that, man. You have to mortify your members. You have to have discipline, self-control, self-denial. It says, then said Holofernes unto her, drink now and be merry with us. So Judith said, I will drink now, my Lord, because my life is magnified in me this day more than all the days since I was born. Then she took and ate and drank before him what her maid had prepared. And Holofernes took great delight in her and drank more wine than he had drunk at any time in one day since he was born. So this man was drinking wine, down, rash, down, just lusting, man. Let's jump down to verse. Let's jump down to verse 6. right? Judith chapter 13 and 6. Then she came to the pillar of the bed, which was at Holofernes' head, and took down his fascia from thence, and approached to his bed, and took hold of the hair of the head, and said, Strengthen me, O Lord God of Israel, this day. And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might, and she took away his head from him. So this man got his head cut off, all because he was deceived by the beauty of a woman. All right. He got his head cut off. Now we rejoice to this. We say all praise to the Most High because this was a heathen, man. And he was just trying to deceive Judith. But what if this on the left-hand side? Right? What if Judith, not saying she was, but what if she was wicked? Hey, a man could get his head cut off, all because of a woman. All right. Let's go to Judith chapter 16 and verse 7. Judith 16 and 7. For the mighty one did not fall by the young men. And Holofernes, he was a mighty man of valor. I mean, he was literally a captain. So he didn't get destroyed by a mighty man, by a young man. And young men have strength. They fast, they quick. It says, neither did the sons of the Titans smite him, nor a high giant set upon him. So a giant or a Titan couldn't even kill this man. That's how what he was apt in war. That's how he was skilled he was. But what? But Judith, the daughter of Moriah, weakened him with the beauty of her countenance. For she put off the garment of her widowhood for the exaltation of those that were oppressed in Israel, and anointed her face with ointment, and bowed her hair in a tire, and took a linen garment to deceive him. Her sandals ravished his eyes. See that? A lot of men, you get ravished by a woman's sandals. This is the point. This is deep, right? You can't just read over Judith chapter 16 and 9. It says her beauty took his mind prisoner, and the falchion passed through his neck. Her beauty literally took his mind captive, man. So his mind is in prison, and literally only thing that's revolved around his mind is Judith. Man, she looked good. Man, she this. Man, she that. I mean, hey, that's deep, man. That just lets you know how jammed up you could be if you're not underneath the fear of the Lord, man. Right? If you're not underneath the fear of the Lord. And we don't care about a woman's beauty, man. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31. I mean, you have to come more than that. Right? You want to think. When you're in certain situations like this, you want to actually think. This Proverbs 31 and 30. Right? Favor is deceit, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. See that? So guess what? A woman that fears the Most High, guess what? Hey, she gonna be magnified. She gonna be glorified. She gonna be talked about. Because guess what? Beauty is vain. So the Most High, he don't even care about beauty. He don't care about looks. He care about your spirit. He care about, are you righteous? Are you keeping the commandments? Are you repentant? Right? Let's go to Judges chapter 16. Man, this thing get deep. You could go to Judges chapter 14. Right? Time will fail to go through these. But this Judges chapter 16 and verse number 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. So it's talking about Samson. Now, Samson was a mighty man of valor. We're not going to go through all the accounts, but Samson was a mighty man. He was the strongest man to ever walk the earth physically, right? He slew 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass. He caught up 300 foxes' tails. Hey, Samson was a mighty man. It says, and the Lord of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, Tell me, I pray thee, where thy great strength lieth, and where thou mightest be abound to afflict thee. So guess what? The Philistines, because they was at war with the Israelites during this time, guess what? The Philistines came to Delilah. They say, hey, we know you could do this. You're a woman. Entice him, right? Entice him. What is the definition of entice? Attract or tempt by offering pleasure or advantage, right? Another synonym for entice is seduce. Entice someone into sexual activity. This is something you don't want to get. You don't want to get seduced. You cannot let yourself as a king. Hey, you a king, man. You a priest. You're an Israelite. You're God's chosen people, right? You cannot let a woman seduce you, because they will try to. Again, this is a most common man's weakness. So guess what, man? The Philistines told Delilah to seduce Samson with her looks, right? With her body. So let's jump down to the point. Verse 13. And Delilah said unto Samson, Hereunto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherein thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened with the pin and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto them, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? What she doing is right now, she's enticing him. She giving him smooth words. That's Eve. But I thought you say you love me, babe. And you would do this. You don't really love me. She put on those puppy eyes. Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and has not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, guess what? This is where he messed up. Samson didn't even have no discretion. He told Delilah all his heart, meaning he gave what he didn't do what Proverbs 31:3 said. He gave all his strength unto the woman. There have not a razor come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the Lord of the Philistines, saying, Come upon this once, for ye have shewed me all his heart. Then the Lord of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in her hand. And ultimately, when you read on down, she got Samson killed. He died. All for what? Giving his strength to the woman. That's why, again, Proverbs chapter 31:3, give not thy strength unto the woman, right? And nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And when you do deal with a woman, you want to deal with some type of preeminence. Again, you a king. You have to act like a king. A king just don't simp or go out there with for the woman. They deal with some type of discipline because they know their worth. Right, let's go to the book of which one? 1 Corinthians chapter 11. A lot of men think they was created for the woman. Man, I was born on this earth to be with a woman, right? To have as many women as I can, right? This 1 Corinthians 11:9. You have to know your worth, brother. You're a king again, right? You're the son of the Most High, an Israelite, right? 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman created with the woman for the man. So a man wasn't created for a woman, right? It's nowhere in the Bible. It was no Eve. Then you know what? Most I say, you know what? Eve lonely. Let me create the man. It don't work like that. No, woman was created for the man. She was, brother, she was created for you, brother. Not you for her. So again, you have to come out of this westernized mindset. You have to come back to how we dealt with in the ancient world through the spirit, right? But with that, actually, I believe somebody had questions. Or I'm gonna try to tackle these questions. I believe I see some. See that? Somebody said, F that Bible. Never helped me, still depressed and stressed. Well, are you keeping the commandments? That's the real question. Are you doing what the Most High requires you to do? So you have scoffers on the chat saying, F that Bible. See that? Please, somebody. See that? Damn, Respucia. Let me go up. Let me go back up to the top. Let me go back up to the top. It says, question. Well, it says, what if your baby mother is 10 years older than you and is trying to put her man on child support? Is this the same question? What if a woman throws her younger native husband out the house as soon as the child is born, doesn't allow the husband to deliver and delivery, and is trying to put him on child support? And she's married for 10 years before a newer husband. Well, I mean, I know a scenario this happening before. I know a woman. Well, I know a woman. She was on the phone with a guy, and she said, as soon as I had his baby, you going straight on child support. So a lot of the times, Eve does do that because they had the so-called white man has given them benefits in this society, like child support, and this society is set up against the Israelite man. In this situation, brother, only thing I could recommend you doing is let's go to Proverbs chapter 3 and 5. Only thing I could recommend you doing is praying and fasting to the Most High, if this is you. This Proverbs chapter 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Right? So again, I mean, if you in this situation, well, this should cause you to be on fire. Because we just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, the only way, 7 and 26, the only way you're going to get away from a wicked woman, you have to please the Most High. Right? If you doing what the Most High commands you to do, you're on fire, you keeping the commandments, you doing all you can, and the Lord is going to see that, and he's going to separate you from that wicked woman. Right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso please of God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So only a sinful man will be taken by a wicked woman. Let me get another quick precept on that. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 26. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26, and verse number 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So if you're a wicked man, the Lord is gonna match you up with a wicked woman. It's gonna go join hand in hand. So when you operate in this situation, you have to check yourself with, damn, am I keeping the commandments? Am I on fire for real? Am I doing all I can? Or am I slothful? and off and lukewarm. Because the Lord said a wicked woman is given to a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So again, you won't want to trust in the Most High on that situation and hope the Most High has you escape. Right? Let's see if there's another question. Somebody already brought that out. I tried to tell younger brothers, but they don't listen. I believe that was his question. I know somebody else had a question. Dang, see that? It took 8 months to snap out of that heartbreak. It says, this is a question. So we'll just be on similar retention all our lives? Right? No, you don't have to. You don't have to be on similar retention your whole life. Right? Is it a sin to marry? Is it a commandment to come into the world and multiply? Genesis 1:22. Let's go to it. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Right, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Now, for semen retention, I believe that's what men do in the world. If you don't have a wife, I mean, yeah, you should be doing that. I'm saying you shouldn't be into, we're just gonna say you shouldn't be into masturbation. All right. Even if you don't have a wife, that's off. That's in sin. But is it a sin to marry? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Let's see. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse number, I'm going to start at verse verse 7. For I would that all men were even as myself, but every man hath his proper gift of God, one after this manner and another after that. Because Paul was what you call a eunuch. So he abstained from sexual intercourse so he could be on fire and magnify the name of the Most High. He didn't deal with a woman. Verse 8, I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I have. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. So it's not a sin to marry. But if you don't want to, I mean, again, you have something called a eunuch, right? And let me jump down to verse 36. It's 1 Corinthians 7 and 36. I'm going to start at 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 36. It says, but if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he willeth. He sinneth not, let them marry. Right? So if a man has a woman, he wants to get that woman off into marriage. Or if he wants to hold her, he's not in sin. Right? But if he wants his woman to marry, or his daughter to marry, rather, it's not a sin. So let's go to Genesis 1:22. The Lord actually said, be fruitful and multiply. Right? That is a commandment. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 1:22. I believe that's Genesis 1:26. Right? It's Genesis chapter 1 and verse 27. Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So God did command. That's why the Lord created man and woman, so they could reproduce, so they could marry. Right? The Lord said marry is honorable, right? And a bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God shall judge. So it's beautiful that I'm saying a woman and a man marries. Nevertheless, again, you have something called a eunuch. Let's go to that in Matthew chapter 19. Right? Let's go to Matthew 19 and verse number 12. It says, "For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men." Meaning certain men, they came out the womb and they didn't have any testicles. They wouldn't be able to have children. Certain men that were made eunuchs in captivity and slavery. They got probably got their rod chopped off, probably had something happen to them. It says, "And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it." Right? So certain men, they're made eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake, meaning they abstain from sexual intercourse to please the Most High, right? To magnify his name. Because it's certain things that come with a wife, right? A wife is not something that you just, oh, I just got a wife now. No, you have to spend time with her. You have to take care of her. You have to make sure you guiding her in wisdom, knowledge, understanding. That could be time consuming. So certain men, they avoid that so they could just focus on the Most High, right? So it's not a sin to marry, brother. Right? It's not a sin to marry. It says, what did you have a rebellious wife? I'm not sure what he asking. Saying what did you have a rebellious wife? I don't know if he's saying that to somebody in the comments or okay, con. Okay, con. All right. What do I do if I am in a place where there is no ease? Is it okay to deal with women of other nations for the main time, or just be on similar retention the whole time? All right. Oh well, let's go to First Esdras. Let's go to the book of First Esdras, chapter 9. Right. What if you in a place where there's no eaves? Can you deal with women of the other nations? Let's go to First Esdras, chapter 9. No, you can't deal with women of the other nations. Right? We just read in First Kings, chapter 11, King Solomon, he dealt with women of the other nations, and they turned his mind away from serving the Most High God. Right? Let's go to First Esdras, chapter 9, and verse number 7. This First Esdras, chapter 9 and 7, and it reads, "So Esdras rose up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed the law in marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing, give glory unto the Lord our fathers, and do his will, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land and from the woman. Then cried the whole multitude and said with a loud voice, Like as thou hast spoken, so we will do." So guess what, brother? I'm going to recommend you to separate from the strange woman, right? And don't deal with them pursuing to the commandment. Now, really don't, it's really not a commandment not to. And when you read Deuteronomy chapter 21 and 13, when you will go to war, you could take a woman of the captives of the other nations. But now we're not going to war right now. We don't have an army right now. So that law doesn't apply. Nevertheless, it's a transgression because you marry a strange woman. And again, they're going to turn your mind away from serving the Most High because they can't keep the commandments. So what if she's an Edomite? She might be a Moabite. She can't keep the commandments. She's not Israel. It's in her spirit not to keep the commandments like it's in your spirit. You really think Edomite woman want to keep the Sabbath day? No, she going to do whatever she want to do. So it's not okay to deal with the woman of the other nations. Let me get another precept. Let's go to Tobit chapter 4. Let's go to the book of Tobit chapter 4 and verse number 12. It's really a lot of precepts you could go to, but for the sake of time, Tobit 4 and 12, beware of all whoredom, thy son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. All right, so that should answer the question. All right, but if there's no more questions with that, we're giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, and study. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his mercy. I'm going to say shalom.